The stars above were quiet, blinking like tiny eyes in the darkness. A small silver ship tore across the black sky, its engines broken and smoking. Inside, the alien girl named Vera struggled to hold the controls. Sparks flew around her. Warning. Lights flashed red. The ship was falling fast toward a rocky moon below. "This is not good," Vera whispered. Her voice was calm, but her heart raced. She was from the planet Ellen, a world of green oceans and soft skies. Her people were peaceful scientists, not fighters. They'd come on a mission to study nearby stars, not to crash on a forgotten human. Moondaughter's ship hit the ground hard. Boom. The crash sent a cloud of dust and metal flying. Pieces of the ship broke off and rolled across the surface. Vera's head hit the side of the cockpit, and everything went black. Hours passed. Vera woke up to silence. Her head throbbed. She tried to move but cried out in pain. Her arm was cut, and her suit was torn. She looked around. The ship was ruined. Broken wings, cracked walls, no power. Life support was failing. She crawled out of the ship, her legs weak. The sky above was a pale gray. The moon was dry and cold, full of sharp rocks and wide empty lands. Not far in the distance, she saw something strange. A tall, square structure with a human flag still flying weakly in the wind. "A human outpost?" she said softly. Her translator device blinked. The old human words were hard to understand, but she had learned some before her journey. If humans built a station here, maybe it had food, shelter, or medicine. She walked slowly, each step harder. Then the last. The outpost stood like a ghost from another time. It was old, covered in dust and cracks, but the metal door still worked after a little push. Inside, she found empty halls, dark screens, and scattered supplies. It smelled like rust and dry air. Lights flickered on when she passed.
The power
Was weak, but still alive. She found a room marked Medical Bay in faded English. Vera entered. Shelves of bottles, tools, and boxes lined the walls. Most were broken or empty. She searched with shaking hands until she found a sealed box with a glowing green lock. The letters on it were strange. HX9, experimental human use only. She didn't understand what it meant, but inside were small glass vials filled with a blue liquid, her translator said, for extreme injury, boosts survival. She was bleeding. She was weak. She had no time to wait. With a deep breath, she pressed the vial to her skin and injected it. The pain came fast. It felt like fire rushed through her veins. Her heart beat faster than ever before. Her eyes widened. She fell to the ground, shaking. Her fingers dug into the metal floor. She wanted to scream, but no sound came out. Then, just as quickly, the pain stopped. Vera opened her eyes. Her vision was sharper. Her breathing was calm. She stood without help. The cuts on her skin had closed. Her body felt stronger like stone, yet light as wind. "What was that?" she asked aloud. Her translator buzzed, trying to keep up with her racing thoughts. The serum wasn't normal medicine. It was something more, something made for war. Now it was inside her. She spent the night inside the outpost reading old human logs. They spoke of a project called HX9, designed for soldiers. The serum would make them faster, stronger, and able to survive harsh worlds. But the project was never finished. It's too dangerous, too unstable. Vera touched her arm. It still burned slightly where the liquid entered her. She stared at her reflection in a cracked screen. Her eyes looked the same, but deeper, brighter. The serum had changed her. She was no longer just a lens outside. Far above, something else moved in space. A dark ship, silent and strange, passed by the moon. Its scanners caught a signal, an old human beacon reactivated from the outpost. It turned inside the outpost. Vera didn't know she had called attention. She stood near the window, looking at the stars. Her mind was full of questions. Would her people understand what she had done? Did the serum keep changing her? Could she ever go back? She didn't know. But one thing was clear. she was not alone on this moon anymore, and soon someone or something was coming. The morning on the moon was cold and quiet. Vera sat near the window of the old human outpost. Her eyes, once soft and gentle, now glowed faintly in the dim light. She could hear the tiny sounds in the metal walls, the quiet hum of dying power, the creak of settling pipes. Even the distant wind outside. Something had changed inside her. The serum she injected had healed her body fast, almost too fast. Her wounds were gone, her mind felt sharper, and her body was stronger. But there was something else, something deeper. She could feel her muscles react before she even moved. Her skin sensed heat through metal. Her ears picked up sounds that were far away. "This is not normal," she whispered. Vera walked through the halls of the outpost again. She needed answers. If humans made the serum, maybe they left information behind. She went back to the medical bay, where she found the vial. The box was still there, metal, heavy, and sealed with a green light, now that she felt stronger. She had the idea to open the rest of the container. With new force in her arms, she pulled the panel open. Inside were more vials of the same blue liquid. A small screen blinked and came to life. Human letters filled the screen, and her translator worked slowly to read them. Project HX9, military use only, unstable, extreme. Below that was a file, marked Field Test Notes. Vera tapped the screen, and the log played in a crackling voice.
Log 44.
The HX9 serum boosts muscle repair, oxygen use, and reaction speed. Test subject lasted 6 days before showing side effects: aggression, loss of control. We had to shut the program down. It was too dangerous, even for our soldiers. The voice stopped. Vera sat back, her hands cold. Too dangerous, even for humans. She looked at the vial she had used. A part of her felt fear, but another part, deep inside, felt strong, almost powerful. As she explored further, she found another room labeled Command Bay. Screens covered the wall. Most were dark, but one still showed a blinking red light. Emergency signal. Active. Her heart skipped a beat. She had triggered something when she powered on the lights last night. Maybe the serum had linked to the base systems. It'd be her touch. Activated something human tech still remembered. And now, the base was sending out a signal. She quickly tapped the controls to stop the beacon, but it was too late. The signal had already been going for hours. Who heard it? She whispered. Her question would soon be answered. Far away. In deep human space, a small patrol ship flew near the edge of the galaxy. Inside the ship was Ren, a quiet but clever human engineer. He had soft brown hair, a small backpack of tools, and a curious mind. He often took solo missions to old planets and empty stations, looking for things left behind. That morning, his ship caught a weak signal from the moon where Vera had crashed. "Huh," Ren muttered, turning his chair toward the screen. "Old Terran military base. Code 7. That's odd." He zoomed in. The outpost had been closed for years. Nobody lived there. No ship should be near it. His fingers moved across the screen. "Let's check it out." Back on the moon, Vera stood outside the outpost. She felt restless. The serum inside her made her body feel alive all the time. Her hands itched to move, to run, to fight something, anything. She hated this feeling. Her people never believed in violence. She took deep breaths to calm her thoughts. The wind brushed against her face, and for the first time, she realized something. She didn't feel cold anymore. The serum had changed her more than she knew. Suddenly, her ears caught a faint sound, soft but growing louder. A hum in the sky. Vera looked up and saw a shape in the distance. A ship was approaching, small and silver. Her eyes narrowed. Human. She said, heart racing. She didn't know if they would help her or hurt her. Inside the ship, Ren slowed his engines. He saw the old outpost below and something else. A figure stood outside. Thin, tall, not fully human. His eyes widened. Is that an alien? He grabbed his tool pack and scanned the area. No weapons detected, no defense systems active. Still, he felt nervous. I hope you're friendly," he whispered as he landed his ship near the outpost. The ground shook slightly as the ship touched down. Vera stood still, her body tense. She didn't know what to expect. Her fingers curled into fists, just in case. The ship door opened with a hiss. A young man stepped out, wearing a gray suit with a red earth patch. He raised his hands slowly to show peace. "I'm Ren," he said, his voice calm. "I saw the signal. I'm not here to hurt you." Vera didn't speak at first. Her translator worked hard to match his words. Then, in slow English, she replied, "I am Vera. I crashed. I used something. A vial." Ren's eyes narrowed. "What vial?" She pointed to the base. Ren followed her inside. When he saw the open HX9 crate, his face changed. "You used this?" Vera nodded. "I was hurt, it healed me, but now I feel strange." Ren sat down thinking hard. "This serum, it was made for soldiers. It gives you strength." "Yes, but it wasn't safe. My people stopped using it." Vera looked worried. "Will I change more?" Ren looked at her closely. "I don't know. But if the signal brought me here, others might be coming too. And not all of them will be friendly." Vera glanced. At the stars, something out there had heard the signal. Something dark, something dangerous. And now, they were not alone. The outpost was quiet again. Inside the command room, soft lights blinked on the old control panels. A screen showed stars above and a red message at the corner. "Signal active. 13 hours." Vera sat on a metal bench, her hands folded in her lap. It felt strange. Her body was calm, but inside, something stirred like a storm waiting to rise. The serum had healed her quickly. It made her stronger. But now, it felt like it was doing more than just healing. Ren stood across the room, reading the logs. Left by the old human crew, he turned toward her. "The serum wasn't made for long use," he said. "The early test subjects, they didn't stay the same. They changed." Vera looked down at her hands. Her fingers were longer now. Her nails were harder, like smooth crystal. Even her skin had a light silver shine in certain light. "I can feel it," she said softly. "It's growing inside me. I don't know what it will do next." Ren looked serious. "We need to find a way to stop it, or control it." Later that evening, Ren helped Vera scan her body with the base's old medical machine. The results were confusing. Her heart beat slower, but stronger. Her muscles were tighter, more responsive. Her brainwaves showed faster thinking, and faster reaction times. But there was something else. Her cells were merging with something. Artificial something made by the serum. They weren't just stronger, they were different. "It's rewriting your biology," Ren said, amazed. "It's making you something new." Vera looked at the screen in silence. "I didn't want this," she whispered. "I only wanted to survive." "You did what you had to do," Ren said. "And maybe it was meant to be found by someone like you." Outside the outpost, the sky above the moon darkened. Far in the distance, something moved across the stars. Something big and cold and quiet, a ship, but it was not human. It was shaped like a black spear. Long and sharp, gliding with no sound. Its engines left no trail. No signal came from it. Inside the ship, tall, thin shadows moved with purpose. Their skin was dark like stone, and their eyes glowed white. These were not explorers. They were hunters. They had followed the signal, and now they had found it. Back inside the outpost, Vera stood near the window. She didn't sleep anymore. Her body didn't seem to need it. Mind was always awake, always thinking. She looked at the stars and felt something deep in her chest. Not pain, not fear. A pull like something out there was calling to her. Suddenly, her eyes blinked. Something was moving in the sky. She turned and ran to the command room. "Ren!" she called. "Come quickly." Ren rushed in. "What is it?" She pointed at the screen. A new object had entered orbit. It was not one of their ships. "It's not sending any ID signal," Ren said. "That's not good." Vera stepped closer to the screen. "I feel something," she said. Something wrong. It's like it's watching. Ren grabbed his scanner and ran outside. Vera followed him. They looked up. At first, the sky seemed empty. But then they saw it. A black shape, too large to be a rock, moved slowly across the stars. No lights, no sound, just darkness. Ren's scanner beeped. I can't read it. No heat, no signal. But it's there. Vera's heart beat faster, and then she heard it, not with her ears, but in her mind. A deep whisper, cold and slow, brushing against her thoughts. She gasped and stepped back. What is it? Ren asked. I don't know, she said. It knows we're here. Back inside the base, the lights began to flicker. Screens flashed. One by one, systems shut down. Ren ran to the control panel. They're jamming us.
Ow.
I can't contact anyone.
Ow.
Vera stood in the middle of the room. Her eyes glowed brighter now. Her body felt hot, alive, ready. It's coming, she said. They're coming. Just an hour later, a loud hum filled the air outside. A smaller dark ship separated from the big one and began to land near the outpost. Its legs touched the ground silently. A ramp opened. 3 figures stepped out. They were taller than any human. Their bodies were thin but strong, covered in dark armor that looked like bone. Their eyes shone like cold moons. Ren and Vera watched from behind the window. Voidborn, Ren said, voice low. I've heard stories. Some say they eat light. Others say they erase planets. Vera's eyes didn't leave the window. They're not here for the outpost, she said. They're here for the serum. They felt it. Inside me. Ren looked at her with worry. Then we can't let them take you. The Voidborn moved quickly. One of them walked to the door and placed its hand on the metal. The door began to melt like wax under fire. Ren grabbed a small defense rifle from the supply room. It won't stop them for long, he said, loading the charge. Ah! But we can slow them. Vera didn't move. She closed her eyes. Inside her chest, the serum pulsed. She felt its power waking, stronger than before. The fear that once held her back began to fade. She opened her eyes again. They were glowing bright silver. Let them come, she said. The door broke open. The first Voidborn stepped inside, tall and silent. It raised a strange black weapon. But before it could fire, Vera moved. She crossed the room in less than a second. So fast Ren barely saw her. With one sharp strike, she knocked the weapon from the creature's hand. Her other hand hit its chest, sending it flying into the wall. Ren's mouth dropped open. The second Voidborn aimed at her. But she turned and leaped into the air, flipping over it and landing behind. With a quick spin, she kicked its legs and slammed it to the ground. The third one paused. Vira stood tall, chest rising with each breath. She wasn't just healed. She was awake, and she was ready. Smoke filled the room as the last Voidborn hit the wall and fell silent. Its black armor cracked, and sparks flew from its weapon. Vera stood in the middle of the floor, her chest rising and falling, eyes glowing silver. Her hands trembled not from fear, but from the energy still running through her body. Ren looked at her in shock. You took down all 3 of them. Vera turned slowly. I didn't try to. My body. It moved on its own. The serum knew what to do. He stepped closer, careful not to startle her. That wasn't just strength. That was something else. Speed. Focus. Control. I'm not the same anymore, she said. I feel everything. I can hear the wind outside. I can feel your heartbeat. Ren placed a hand on the control desk to steady himself. We need to be careful. If the Voidborn came for you, they might not stop. They want the serum or what? It's done to you. Vera looked at the broken door, her face calm but serious. Then we need to stop the signal. They rushed to the command bay. The red warning lights blinked faster now. The outpost had been sending the emergency signal for nearly 14 hours. Anyone, friend or enemy, could find them. Ren tapped on the old console. I'm trying to cancel it, but the controls are damaged. I think the Voidborn jammed the main link. Before they landed, he hit the keys harder. I can't shut it off from here. Is there another way? Vera asked. There's a relay tower outside the base, he said, pointing at a map. If we go there, we can disable the signal manually. Vera nodded. Let's go. Outside, the moon's surface was cold and quiet. The relay tower stood a few hundred meters from the base, built on a rocky hill. It was tall and rusted, with broken wires and old antennae. Ren checked his scanner. Still active, but barely. They moved quickly. Vera kept scanning the sky. The black Voidborn ship still floated high above them, like a shadow waiting to fall. It hadn't moved since the fight, but it wasn't gone. Do you think more of them are inside that ship? Ren asked. Vera nodded. Yes, I can feel them. He frowned. That's not normal. I'm not normal anymore, she said. They reached the relay tower. Ren climbed the ladder while Vera watched from below. He opened a small panel and pulled out wires. It's worse than I thought, he called down. Most of the systems are dead, but the signal is still running through backup power. I can cut the feed, but we only get one shot. If I mess this up, the tower might explode. Vera's eyes narrowed. Then don't mess up. Ren smiled nervously.
Thanks for
the pressure. He worked slowly, carefully, cutting wires and reconnecting circuits. Sparks flew. Smoke rose. Finally, the screen on his wrist lit up. Signal terminated. He let out a breath. We did it. Vera turned to look at the sky. The black ship above them started to move. The Voidborn had felt the signal die. Inside the dark ship, of them began to wake. Their bodies moved like shadows, cold and silent. One, larger than the rest, stepped forward. Its eyes glowed with deep white light. It was the commander. The first scout team had failed. Now the real attack would begin. Back. At the tower, Vera felt her head ache. A sharp sound filled her ears, a signal, but not human. Deep pulse, like a heartbeat in space. They're calling for more, she said. Ren jumped down. Then we need to get back to the base. Maybe we can hide. Vera shook her head. They're not coming to search. They're coming to destroy. They ran back toward the outpost. Dust blew across the ground. The black ship above opened its lower gate. Bright blue lights began to shine from under it. Ren looked up. What are they doing? They're charging a weapon, Vera said. A strong one. She grabbed his arm. Can't go back to the base. We need to hide in the rocks. They rushed toward a nearby cave, barely reaching the entrance before the sky exploded with light. A beam of energy shot down from the Voidborn ship, hitting the outpost. Fire and smoke rose in a massive wave. Metal tore like paper. The building was gone in seconds. Ren stared in silence. All of it, gone. They didn't want anything left behind, Vera said. Inside the cave, the ground shook for a few. More seconds. Dust fell from the roof. Vera sat against the stone wall, eyes closed. Ren looked at her. Are you okay? She nodded. Yes, but I feel different. He watched her carefully. Her skin now had a faint glow, the veins on her. Arms pulsed with soft blue light. Even her voice was stronger, calm, steady, fearless. You're still changing, he said. I know. Ren sat beside her. Do you feel in control? She thought for a moment. Right now? Yes. But the more I use this strength, the more it grows. I don't know if I can stop it later. He looked at the cave entrance. We'll figure it out together. Outside, the Voidborn ship floated silently above the ruined base. The commander stared down at the smoke and fire. It knew the target was still alive. The serum was not yet recovered. It sent another signal into space, a call for more ships. The hunt had only just begun. Back in the cave, Vera opened her eyes. I can't keep running, she said. They'll follow until they catch me. I have to stop them. Ren looked alarmed. Can't fight them alone. I'm not just me anymore, she said. I'm stronger now. Because of humans. Because of your science. He looked at her. So what do we do? We send a message, she said, to Earth, to your people. Tell them the Voidborn are here. Tell them we need help. Ren nodded. There's a beacon in my ship. It's short range. But if I boost the signal, do it, Vera said. She stood and looked at the stars. If they want to fight, I'll give them one. Ren worked quickly inside his small ship, fingers moving across the control screen. The ship was old, not built for combat, but its communication tools were still useful. He opened the emergency beacon panel, connected wires, and boosted the power output. Vera stood outside the ship, watching the sky. Her eyes still glowed softly in the dark. The Voidborn ship floated above the ruined outpost like a shadow over the moon. It hadn't left. It was waiting, watching inside. Ren flipped the last switch. "Beacon ready," he said. "I'm sending a message to the closest human base." He spoke clearly into the recorder. "This is Ren Morrow, civilian engineer. Moonbase 7 has been attacked by unknown hostile species. I am with a non-human ally who has encountered a Terran serum marked HX9. We request immediate support. Coordinates attached." "Repeat, we need help." He pressed send. The small antenna above the ship blinked red, then green. The signal was on its way. Vera entered the ship. "Will they hear it?" Ren nodded. "Yes, the signal is strong enough to reach the nearest Terran listening post. If anyone's out there, they'll come." Vera looked unsure. "And if they don't?" Ren smiled slightly. "Then we do. What humans always do." She tilted her head. "What's that? We keep fighting?" Ours passed slowly. Boom. The black ship above didn't move, but small scout drones circled the area like dark insects. Ren and Vera hid the ship inside a canyon, beneath rock ledges and dry stone. In the meantime, Vera continued to change. Her strength had grown more stable. Her skin no longer shimmered like before. It was now smooth, pale, and tougher than metal. She could lift heavy rocks without effort. She could run across the rocky ground without making a sound, but the biggest change was in her mind. She could now sense the Voidborn, not their exact thoughts, but their presence, like distant storms. She knew when they moved. She knew when they were close. It was as if the serum had opened a new sense inside her. Ren noticed it too. "You're turning into something more," he said. "Not just alien, not just human, something in between." Vera nodded. "And I think the Voidborn are afraid of that." As night came, the two of them climbed up to a ridge above the canyon. From there they could see the burned remains of the outpost. The air was quiet, but the feeling of danger still hung heavy. Vera sat on a rock, watching the stars. "Why did your people make the serum?" she asked. Ren sat beside her. "Long time ago, there was a war. Humans wanted soldiers who could survive on any planet, win every battle, and come back stronger. But the serum was unstable. It made people powerful but also dangerous. Some couldn't control it. The project was shut down." Vera looked at her hands. "But I took it." "You didn't know," Ren said. "We're dying. You made the only choice you could. And now I carry a weapon inside me," she said. "When even your people feared." Ren looked up at the stars. "Maybe this time it's in the right hands." The next morning, the sky above flashed with light. A message appeared on Ren's screen. "Signal received. Patrol ship en route. ETA, 3 hours." Ren jumped to his feet. "They're coming. You just have to hold on a little longer." Vera nodded. "Then we prepare." They spent the next hour moving rocks and scrap metal to create a defensive wall around the ship. Vera used her new strength to carry pieces that would take 3 people to lift. Ren set up energy shields and placed old sensor devices on nearby. Cliff Stott, then the first drone, found them. It flew fast, a black circle with glowing eyes. It spotted them and turned sharply to escape. But Vera was faster. She jumped from the ledge, spinning in the air. With one clean strike, she hit the drone and sent it crashing into the rocks below. Ren ran to her side. That was a scout. "Know where we are now?" Vera looked toward the sky. "Then they'll send more." Not long after, a group of 3 Voidborn landed near the canyon entrance. They walked slowly, weapons glowing dark blue. One of them pointed toward the hidden ship. Ren ducked behind a rock. "They're here." Vera stepped out from behind cover. "Let me go first. You stay behind." He grabbed her arm. "Sure," she nodded. "I can feel them. I can stop them." She walked into the open, facing the 3 creatures. They paused, staring at her. One of them growled in a voice like metal breaking. Vera raised her hand. Leave. I don't want to. Fight. The Voidborn stepped forward. So did she. The fight happened fast. One Voidborn swung its weapon, but she dodged. Her hand grabbed the weapon and crushed it. The second creature aimed a dark rifle, but she kicked it away before it could fire. The third tried to attack from behind, but Vera turned and hit it with both fists, sending it flying into the rocks. Ren watched from a distance, amazed. She wasn't just strong. She was a force. After the battle, Vera stood still, breathing slowly. Her eyes glowed brighter now, like silver fire. Ren came to her side. You did it. She looked at the fallen Voidborn. More will come. I can feel it. But help is coming too, he said. We just have to hold on. Far above the moon, the human patrol ship moved through space. It was small, but fast, painted white and blue. Inside, Captain Myra looked at the message from Ren, unknown alien ally. HX9 Serum, and Voidborn activity. She said aloud. Her crew nodded, prepare to land. The Serum project isn't over. Back on the moon, Vera stood beside Ren, watching the sky. She felt the Serum inside her, alive and awake. She felt the enemy above, watching and waiting, but for the first time since her crash, she also felt hope. The sky above the moon glowed with strange colors as dawn approached. Vera stood on a rocky ledge, her eyes scanning the horizon. The soft wind touched her skin, but inside her body, the Serum pulsed like a living light. She could feel power, growing inside her every moment. Behind her, Ren prepared the ship's limited defenses. He worked quickly, setting up energy shields and checking sensors. Captain Myra's ship will arrive soon, Ren said, glancing at the sky. But until then, we're on our own. Vera nodded. Then we must be ready. Suddenly, the ground trembled beneath their feet. The dust rose in thick clouds as dark shapes appeared on the horizon. Voidborn warriors. More than before, dozens of them, moving like a black wave over the moon's surface. Vera's eyes narrowed. They came faster than I thought. Ren grabbed a weapon from the ship's storage. You can't hold them off forever. Vera stepped forward, her silver eyes shining bright. Then we don't hold them off. We fight. The Voidborn charged across the rocks, their armor clinking softly in the silence. Ovea weapons glowed with blue energy, humming like thunder. Vera met them in the open. Her muscles moved faster than the eye could see. She jumped, flipped, and struck with strength that shattered stone. One by one, she knocked down the warriors. Ren fired from behind the shield, taking down any who came close, but the Voidborn kept coming as the battle raged. Vera felt the Serum inside her reach new levels. Her skin shimmered faintly. Her senses sharpened. She could hear every breath, every step, every heartbeat of the enemy. Yet, something was wrong. A dark voice whispered in her mind, a cold, cruel voice that promised power but warned of loss. She stopped and closed her eyes. No, she said. I am still me. Suddenly, a Voidborn commander stepped forward, taller and stronger than the others. Its eyes burned with white fire. It raised a weapon unlike any Vera had seen, a black spear that pulsed with energy. The commander spoke in a deep voice that shook the air. Alien child, you carry the forbidden Serum. Surrender or be destroyed. Stood her ground. I won't give you what you want. The commander laughed, a sound like grinding stones. Then you will die. The fight grew fiercer. Vera dodged the spear strikes, but each hit left marks on her glowing skin. She reached deep inside, calling the Serum's power. Her fists glowed like stars. With a shout, she struck the spear, breaking it into pieces. The commander roared and charged at her. Vera met the charge with a powerful kick, sending him flying back. Ren watched in awe as Vera fought like a force of nature. But then, the Serum's darker side showed itself. Her eyes flashed red for a moment. Her strength doubled. But so did her anger. She crushed the rocks beneath her feet, the ground trembling with each step. Ren shouted, Vera, control it. Don't let it take over. Vera shook her head and forced herself to calm down. The red in her eyes faded. She breathed deeply. I am not a weapon, she said. I am a protector. The battle slowed. The Voidborn began to retreat, their numbers thinning. Vera stood tall. Shining with silver light, Ren came to her side, breathing heavily. You did it, he said. You saved us. Vera looked at the horizon where the sky glowed even brighter. In this fight, we are only beginning, she said. At that moment, a bright flash appeared in the sky. The human patrol ship was landing. Captain Mira's voice came over the radio. Ren Morrow, Via help is here. Via smiled for the first time in days. We're ready. The battle had just begun, but hope had returned. Via was no longer just an alien girl. She was a symbol of strength of unity. Between worlds and the stars themselves waited to see what she would do next. The patrol ship landed with a soft thud on the rocky surface. Its bright lights cut through the dawn mist, casting long shadows over the broken outpost below. Vera and Ren stood side by side watching the heavy doors slide open. Captain Mira stepped out first, her face calm and determined. She looked at Vera, then at Ren, and nodded. We got your message. We're here to help. Vera's eyes glowed softly. Thank you. Need all the help we can get, sighed the ship's command. Center, the small team gathered around a holographic map of the moon. The glowing blue dots showed voidborn movement, scattered but dangerous. Myra pointed at one spot. This is where the main voidborn base is. If we take it down, we can stop the attacks. Ren frowned. It's heavily guarded. Too many? Of them? Vera smiled. Then we will need more than numbers. We need strategy and speed. Mira agreed. We have fighters, but the terrain here is tough. We'll need guides. Vera stepped forward. I know these lands. I will lead you. Outside, the sun slowly rose over the horizon. The light spilled across the ruins, giving hope to a place once full of fear. Vera stood tall, feeling the serum. Inside her, calm and steady now. She was no longer afraid of its power. Instead, she controlled it. This serum, she said quietly to Ren, it is part of me now, but I choose how to use it. Ren smiled. You are a bridge between worlds. You show what humans and aliens can achieve together. Vera looked to the sky. Then let's show them. The team moved out, climbing rocky hills and crossing dry valleys. Vera led the way, moving silently over the rough ground as they neared the Voidborn base. They saw walls of dark metal, tall towers with glowing lights, patrols moving slowly below. Mira raised her hand. We wait for nightfall. Then we strike. Under the cover of darkness, the human fighters and Vera approached the base. Silent weapons were ready. Vera's enhanced senses guided them through hidden paths, avoiding patrols and traps. Suddenly, an alarm sounded. One guard had spotted them. Move. Mira shouted. The battle began. Vera was everywhere at once. She moved through the shadows, disabling enemies with quick, precise strikes. Her strength and speed were unmatched. She took down 2 guards before they even knew she was there. Behind her, the humans fought fiercely. Energy bolts lit up the night as the fight spread across the base. The Voidborn commander from before appeared again, leading a group of warriors. He saw Vera and snarled. You will fall here, alien. Vera met his gaze. Not today. They clashed in a fierce battle. Spears, energy blasts, and raw strength collided. Vera dodged and countered, using the serum's power carefully, keeping control. With one final move, she disarmed the commander and pinned him down. The rest of the Voidborn soldiers surrendered or fled. Mira called for a ceasefire. The base is ours.
Ren checked the ship's scanners.
The Voidborn command network is down. Now they won't attack again soon. Vera breathed deeply, feeling the calm after the storm. Back at the human ship, the team gathered. Captain Mira turned to Vera. You have saved us all. Your strength and courage brought us together. Vera smiled. It was not just me. Your help, your trust. Ren stepped forward. This is just the beginning. The serum can help many, but only if we use it wisely. Mira nodded. We will learn from this. Together. Days later, a new message was sent to Earth. It told the story of an alien girl who survived. It's changed by human science and fought to protect a world on the edge of war. It told of hope, of unity, of a future where strength comes not just from power, but from trust and friendship. Vera stood on the moon's surface once more, looking at the stars. She was no longer just an alien or a human experiment. She was a symbol, a new dawn for two worlds. The serum inside her was not a curse, but a gift. And the story was far from over. End of part 7. End of story.